This is the news and talk of Texas.
WBAP, Fort Worth, Dallas.
KPLX FM-HD2, Fort Worth.
WBAP.com.
A Cumulus media station.
The G7 summit continues in Japan. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. President Biden's there as the summit continues, talking major issues, including aid to Ukraine and the debt limit. Fox's Peter Ducey in Hiroshima, Japan, tells us the U.S. backing a plan to train Ukrainian pilots on F-16 fighter jets.
The plan isn't just to give Ukraine F-16 jets. Instead, it is to train pilots in Europe and then later on, whenever they are ready, figure out who in the G7 is going to provide those jets. We had been told for months that President Biden did not think the Ukrainians needed F-16 jets. President Biden also dealing with the debt limit. And when an Australian reporter asked the president about that, the president said to, and this is a quote, "Shush up." He is expressing confidence that a deal is going to get done, but he has, while he's been overseas, been pretty hands-off.
President Biden expected to meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky on Sunday. Talks by the White House to extend the nation's debt limit are off, at least for now.
Chaos on Capitol Hill as negotiations to raise the nation's debt ceiling stall yet again. The high-stakes talks between the White House and House Republicans have been on and off all throughout the weekend as President Biden remains in Japan for the G7 summit. Republican leaders warn those talks are heading in the wrong direction. Both parties say they want to strike a deal before June 1st to avoid a potentially catastrophic debt default.
That's Fox's John Scott. And Russia's defense ministry says forces of the Wagner private army with the support of Russian troops seized the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut. This is Pope Francis selected one of his cardinals to lead a peace mission between Russia and Ukraine. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi will try to carve out paths of peace between the warring countries. America's listening to Fox News.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And KPLX 99.5 FM HD2.
A Cumulus media station. Trending now.
I'm Ken Jeffries from the WBAP 24/7 News Desk. News 8 quotes Dallas police as saying the search is still on for a suspect who shot and killed a security guard Friday afternoon. It was at a parking garage at Preston Center West. The victim has been identified as 34-year-old Adalberto Santiago. They say Santiago confronted the gunman who allegedly broke into several vehicles in the garage. They add the suspect drove off in a gold sedan, which was later found in another parking lot. The face of Fort Worth's own Opal Lee is now on display in Austin at the Texas State House, just outside the Senate chambers.
It was installed Thursday in the presence of Lee's family and friends, as well as lawmakers. Ms. Lee is known worldwide as the grandmother of Juneteenth. She helped lead the campaign for June 19th to become a national holiday in the United States. Lee's portrait now hangs across from the portrait of Barbara Jordan, the first African-American elected to the Texas Senate and the first Southern African-American woman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. Part of the National Juneteenth Museum is actually being constructed on land in Fort Worth that has been owned by Ms. Lee for years. Demolition for the multi-million-dollar historical site started months ago. Steve Cumming, WBAP 24/7 News.
The State Fair of Texas has announced a theme for the 2023 edition. This year's theme is Explore the Midway, which recognizes the area where fairgoers can play games and enjoy the rides. Artwork displayed as part of the announcement shows some of the most famous rides of the Midway, including Top of Texas Tower and the Texas Star Ferris Wheel. The State Fair begins September 29th and runs through October 22nd. WBAP weather, mostly cloudy today with a high of 79. Right now 65 degrees at DFW. I'm Ken Jeffries. Our next news update at 2:02. Check back several times throughout your day and stay informed with News Talk 820 WBAP, 99.5 FM HD2 and WBAP.com.
Constant Contact's digital marketing tools help small businesses keep up, excel, and grow. And now you can give yours a big push with